Hi, I'm Kathleen.
I'm Tom.
I'm Ellen.
And you're watching
Word of Mouth.
Race is the most incendiary topic in our history. And the moment it comes out, you cannot close the lid on that box. That may change, but not for a long, long while.
We saw the new David Mamet play called Race. Guess what it's about?
It's taking place in a lawyer's office, and there's the two partners there who are Jack and Henry, and they are sort of interviewing a potential new client named Charles.
He's accused of raping a black woman, and he's a wealthy white man, and there's this whole element of is it a racial issue and how to defend this, because no matter how you look at it, it's going to become about race.
Jack is white, Henry is black, and the young associate Susan is also black.
So there's two white people and two black people on stage, and they're sort of talking mostly about race. It's all happening in the lawyer's office, but it's very much like a courtroom drama. You keep getting little pieces of information, sort of moments like, oh my God, you know, like he keeps throwing little twists in here and there. And
you know, James Spader is in it, so it's basically like David Mamet wrote an episode of Boston Legal.
James Spader plays Jack Lawson, who is clearly the head of the small law firm, this kind of win-at-all-costs lawyer, and he's very good. He's comfortable on stage, and he's just, it's a character we've seen before.
I've always liked James Spader, and I like him on stage too. He was good at putting across David Mamet's writing, and that's what worked for me.
David Alan Grier was Henry. I thought he was really good. You know, I'm so used to seeing him in comic roles. You can't help but think of In Living Color, you know, Men on Film or something like that. And but you know, he pulls off the serious thing really well.
As the play developed, he seemed to kind of step out of that kind of stilted David Mamet thing in a way that brought a little more emotion and passion into the part.
Kerry Washington plays Susan, the junior lawyer in the firm, and I wasn't at all impressed by her. I thought that she was very stiff on stage. She didn't really define the character, and I'm going to say that maybe the way the character was written, she didn't really have a lot to work with.
I thought she was awesome. As the play got on, she kind of became more emotionally connected to the turns of the plot, and the more intense she became and the more focused she became, the more compelling I found her.
Richard Thomas as Charles was not good. He was not good. I don't know how else to say it. I've seen him in other things where he's good. I know he can act, but he just couldn't handle this. He didn't have the demeanor right of the guy. You know, he just came across as stupid.
The problem is with the dialogue and the timing. David Mamet's style is where people are interrupting and there's this kind of overlapping of words that wasn't happening in the beginning. I don't think Richard Thomas ever really sunk himself into the role. I felt that he was acting.
I enjoyed the show. I didn't fall in love with it, but I liked it.
I was completely focused, I was totally immersed, and so I really had like a theater experience in that regard. But when I left, I wasn't inspired by it, I didn't want to talk about it, and I wouldn't pick up the phone and say, oh my God, I saw this great play, go see it.
I found myself actually being bored during this play, and partly because the topic is meant to be controversial and thought-provoking and kind of, you know, very shocking, and I didn't feel that it was. I didn't think that there was anything new that was being said. I didn't think it was being said in a new way.
You can take your pick of shows on Broadway right now that have something to do about race, and I don't know that David Mamet's take on it is any more interesting or unusual or different than, you know, any opinion that you could find anywhere else.
I just felt that it wasn't finished. I mean, that was really the feeling that I had about this play, that it was missing some critical element. And that might be the fault of the direction, I don't know, but it's certainly the fault of either the director or the writer. In this case, both the same man.
Ultimately, I don't think I would recommend it. Just because I don't think it's really that unique. I don't think there's anything that's totally unique about it except for the celebrity power, if you want to go see those people.
It's not something that I can say, you know, spend $120 and see this show. I really can't say that.
If you like standard issue David Mamet, you should see the play. If you have never seen David Mamet play before, you might give it a shot, see what you think. But if you don't like David Mamet, you should definitely not see this play because you won't like this one.
We get him off, we lose. We get him off and we win. What does that make us?
Because it's a black-white case.
Well, yeah, that's correct. The case is a loser, Jackie. Let some kid take it. Some kid doesn't know better. He puts on a valiant defense. Everybody understands. Case doesn't hurt him. Case hurts us either way. I know you're a war horse and all that, and you've got blood in your nose.
Very large fee.
Amortize it over X years, lost clients. The case stinks.